everyone, my name is Emily Beard, and today I'm very excited to be talking about reinforcement versus punishment and how we can understand the key differences in operant conditioning. These are procedures that we use on a day-to-day basis in applied behavior analysis, and this is something that I love talking about as well because a topic like this is very crucial in understanding how behaviors are learned and shaped through our consequences. For our agenda today, we will go through a quick overview of what reinforcement and punishment are, emphasize their differences by applying them in real-life scenarios just to get a better understanding of it, as well as wrap up the summary of the key takeaways and our conclusion. So starting with reinforcement, this is something that we implement most commonly, and this is something that increases the likelihood of a behavior happening again. There are two types, positive and negative. Starting with positive reinforcement, this involves adding something pleasant after a behavior. A good example of this that parents can often relate to could be giving a child candy for cleaning their room in the hopes that they clean their room again. On the other hand, negative reinforcement revolves removing something unpleasant to increase behavior. A good example of this could be as simple as taking Tylenol to relieve a headache. I'm sure everyone here has experienced a headache at some point in time, and you've taken some over-the-counter medicine to relieve that. This would be an example of negative reinforcement, since the relief makes it more likely that you'll take Tylenol again when you have a headache. Now moving on to punishment, which is something that aims to decrease behavior. Like reinforcement, there's positive and negative. Positive punishment involves the addition of something unpleasant. A good example of this, that another thing parents can probably relate to, is yelling at a child for climbing on furniture. The addition of the yelling is meant to reduce the behavior. On the other hand, negative punishment involves the removal of something undesirable. For instance, taking away a child's favorite toy because they misbehaved is something that's often used because the removal of the toy is intended to discourage the unwanted behavior. In conclusion, reinforcement increases behavior while punishment decreases it. The terms positive and negative don't necessarily mean good or bad. They're only referring to whether you are adding or removing a stimulus. Positive means something is added, while negative means something is taken away. When we understand and choose the right method, we can always encourage better behavior and reduce unwanted actions in a more effective and thoughtful way. In our field, we really like to individualize these interventions based on the individual, just so that we can promote the best outcome possible for everyone. Thank you so much for listening, and I really hope that this helps clarify how reinforcement and punishment work in everyday life. And if you have any additional questions, please let me know. Thank you.